Well, let's see who's up tonight. uh, it's sort of early yet, I think. I don't know, we'll get some people running out or tuning in or tuning out or whatever you do at this time of night. But I talked about a lot of new programs today, and I want to make sure that as many people as possible know about these. I mean, boy, it's amazing how just one piece of information could change your life so much just by learning something or whatever, that you didn't know about. Now, everything I talk about, here is free. I mean, these are programs that come from the federal government, state government, local government, nonprofit organizations that will never charge you money. Okay, so that's what we do on letsgohelp.com. A little plug in there. You notice that? That all the websites I give you will never charge you anything, and that's why we're stuck with using Google, because Google, is great. It shows you the billions and billions of websites. But to try to find the websites that don't want money from you is next to impossible if you're using Google. So that's why I figure what this country needs is a place that you don't get anybody selling you money or help when you don't have money. And that's what the trap is in our society. People don't have money to solve their financial problems. And so they go to Google, and all they find are people who want to get money from them to solve their financial problems. I guess I'm in that. My service is $20. So it's not like these other people out there that put a mask on and a gun and really getting high tickets. And I used to be one of those people. I used to charge like thousands of dollars for this stuff because the rich people will pay it. Because they know how powerful it is. I mean, when I found myself, I was making billionaires out of millionaires, and that's not fun. They don't even need the money. So that's why now I'm devoting the rest of my life just to try to help people who don't have money find out where these programs are and how to take advantage of them, and how great they are, and how everybody could use them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's important. That we know that, and that you know that, and you know how to use it. I mean, the problem is we have a lot of problems in our training, in our background, that is not suited for what you have to do to use these programs. We're not trained because we hear what's in our mind is stuff from, what we hear on our mind is stuff we read somewhere, and that's all done by people who want to sell you something. And so all you have to do is this, all you have to do is that, and seven steps to doing this. Well, the reality is most of that is bullshit. I mean, maybe it happens to somebody, but for most of us, it's going to take work. And it's not the work that you're used to. See, that's the problem. See, we're used to, okay, I want to find a website. Give me a website, let's go, where I can put in my name and address and apply for a grant, and and I'll just sit and wait. Well, my grant, you could do that. We give $40,000 out every month. And that you could do with our grant. But for what the government has and what nonprofits have, this is what I'm trying to teach people to do, because I won't be here forever, and you have to learn this system because we're stuck with it for a long time now. And so you have to learn how to use this. And that's what we do. We train you. Not only do we give you free grants, from our because what we do are a profit. And now we're making about $40,000 a month profit, so we're giving that back to members every month. But really, we want to train you how to use the system. And that takes a little work. And we have classes, free, everything. When you give us $20, man, you'll never have to give us another penny for the rest of your life, except next month, because it's a subscription. And that's what it is. So, at letsgo.com, it's really, it's the only place in the world that I know of, that does this kind of thing, that not only gives you grants, that trains you to get grants, and only charge you $20. Then you could ask us 1,000 questions a day. See, what we do is really, we have personal, I mean, I spent the last 5 hours just personally answering people's questions. They ask me, hey, I need money to start a business. Hey, I need to get a new roof. Hey, my grandma has to move from California to Utah, where I am. Hey, and I show them, and we do, where the best programs are for you to finance. Now, I can't guarantee you're going to get the money. Nobody can. It's sort of like getting a job. I could show you, these are the people that are hiring, but I can't guarantee they're going to hire you. See? And that's what it is. Now, the problem, see, to me, but this is such a step up from Google, because in Google, you can't even find the people that are hiring. And they're going to charge you arm and a leg if they do. And that's what I feel I should do. And I should do this for the rest of my life. And I have nothing better to do. I just can't wait to get up in the morning. I haven't worked in 30 or 40 years, to tell you the truth. I don't call this work. If you were a professional golfer, right, it would be just like playing every day, right? So this, to me, this is like playing every day. So I really don't work. And that's what I hope I could help other people do, is find things they really want to do in life to contribute to our society, get paid for it. Are you Joe Biden's daddy? I think Joe and I are about the same age. So neither of us could be each other's daddy. He says, my Joe Biden's daddy. What do you use what you do, you don't use Google? No, I use Google, but when I know what to look for. See, if you're trying to solve a problem, you can't go to Google to solve that problem. You won't find it. You'll find people who know you have that problem and know your soft spots. They know what will make you give them money to help you solve the problem, because they spend 24 hours a day thinking about that. And see, the internet can when we first did direct market, you had to do a mail and then wait 6-7 weeks to get the mail back to see what works in the mail. Now you could try a million ways to sell something to people and get the answer within seconds. So this is why Facebook is so popular, because now we could find out by just doing 1,000 or 2,000 different combinations of things to see what's the best way to shove money in our pockets. And that's why Google's so powerful, YouTube's so powerful, and all these things, because you can test things so fast. Well, it's not, there's good parts to it, like everything. There's good, bad to everything, and you have to know about it. But if you're not used to it, then you're going to get sucked in, because that's what they're looking for. Unsuspecting, and particularly now when there's, the country is in such trouble, and half of our population can't pay the bills, and so they're always in trouble, and that means the sharks are sharper out there, that they're going to prey on that and get money from you because you don't know your options. So you have to know your options in life to make a great decision. But if you just go on Google and you talk to somebody who wants to sell you something, and that's an option, and that's it. Like now, I was just answered a question that a Let's Go Help member told us about. A grant in, I think it was Arizona, a $21,000 grant to help buy a house. Well, you could go there, and I look at it, and there's two red flags to me. One, it's a .com. It's not a .org, and it's not a .gov. And they're the people that give grants. The .coms don't give grants unless it's me. And very few, you'll say, in particular for housing, no. Or they're getting the money from the grant, or they're using the government grant. So it all comes, so go to the horse's mouth, because if you go to somebody at .com, and particularly the other red flag was they wanted your email address before you got the information. Well, ding, 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 ding. Something's wrong there. Now, maybe the information is good. I don't know. So if you really want to do it, I would stay away from it, because that's only me. I've been studying this for 50 years. You want to see what it is, but don't don't say that's the only thing, because they want to get you. See, they want to get your phone number or email address so they beat on you for the rest of your life until you succumb to their sales pitch and give them a bunch of money. And you don't want to do that. I mean, if you want to learn a little bit from them, so they say, yes, there's this program for $21,000. Well, that's going to be from a government office, okay? So you could ask them where it is, and then check that government office to go directly. No matter what you do, though, don't make a decision until you start. Now, here are the 4 places that I told this person to start. And these are 4 places that help you for free to find a government program, to grant money. 99, 44, 100% of government programs are going to be grant or nonprofit organization. So you're going to miss something. So they're making money off you somehow that you probably don't have to pay. But only if you know your options. So you contact those 4 sites. One is at HUD, HUD.gov. So if you're looking to buy a house or anything, you go to HUD.gov. And what you do is talk to a counselor. In the search bar there, you look for counseling, and then you find a counselor, and you talk to them personally, one-on-one. That's how they get the real information. I don't know what the hell the internet's really saying. And you're doing this one time for people getting $26 for being an employee that had to work during COVID. Is that, yes, absolutely. There are a lot of those programs. A lot more are coming up, for, what do they call it? My brain doesn't hold a lot of stuff anymore. And yes, I mean, there's a lot of those grants, and they're local now. There's not a national program if you work for COVID. So you have to check with your local county, your state, your city. That's where those programs are. Nonprofit organization. Go to your elected official. Call your mayor's office and ask for a COVID program. See what they got. And that's the way you do that. But back to the housing. If you want to get housing, are they followed you for a long time and buy your program and always something goes wrong? Can you help me? Yes, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, it is a complicated process. That's why Let's Go Help is where we keep asking, okay, you screwed up, you didn't understand, or I didn't explain it right, so you come back and ask another question. Same price, $20, no matter what. Okay, you screw up again, come back, same price, $20. And we do it again until you get it right. Now, it is, as I say, it's not just a grant application, fill it out and wait to get the money. That may happen, and that does happen. But most of the time it won't, because it's all local. I need to pay $30 extra to have access to some information about grant application. Not me. Somebody wants you to spend $370. That's a scam, or just some bandit is going to get the money. No, for $20 you get all the information you'll ever need in your life about government grants. And you can keep doing it and shoveling out and reselling it if you want. I don't give a shit. This is public information. That's what I get, public information, and resell it. And you want to use me to do that too. Student debt, yes. There's a lot of, the best thing about student debt is the low income program. And so you want to sign up for that at studentaid.gov, man. You could get rid of $100,000 in debt with that thing. But let's say, so the housing. So that's right. There's that. There's HUD. You make an appointment. There's something called neighborworks.org, and they help you for free. There's another one at your state housing finance authority. State Housing Finance Authority. Now that's a big handle, but that's real, and they're in every state. So if you Google, you live in Maine, so Maine State Housing Finance Authority, and call them. You realize that you have to call them, and you don't know what to ask for. So no, you don't say, I want a grant to do this. I want money. No, I want help. I want help. I want help. That's what you have to say. I want help. I want help. I want help. Because most of these people that you're going to talk to, really probably don't give out grants, but they know the system. And you want to talk to people who know the system, like me. You want to talk to me about knowing about government grants, and start learning how to do that. Because what you think you need is fine, but you don't have a bigger picture of what the hell is really out there, because all blonde women are not dumb. So you talk to 2 blonde women and they're dumb, and you think all blonde women are dumb. because you don't have enough experience to do that. So that's why you want to go to these experts. These experts are free too. They get free money. They get paid. They make $50,000 to $100,000 a year just to sit and answer the phone and help you find this stuff. I do too, but I charge you $20. they don't charge you. But they don't advertise. See, they don't do streaming here to let people know they're there. And that's a shared life with more than 5 friends. I don't know who answers your emails and how often. Well, emails is not where we do all our work. We do, and it's touch and go whether we get emails, because we're answering people who are members on Let's Go Help. That's where we're a small group. We get a handful of people and we're running around chasing our butts, and that's where it is. So if you really have to use email, just keep peppering away every couple of days if you don't get an answer. I try to do it, but I have to take care of paying customer service first because my banker wants to get paid every month. So that's it. We have to take care of ourselves first, and then you help somebody else. Yeah, and that's what life is about. And it's so important, to have both sides, because if you can't take care of yourself first, then you can't help anybody else because you have too many worries and stuff like that. What's your favorite Hot Wheels set? Mine was Mega Crash. Hot Wheels was around with my kids. I never had Hot Wheels. I'm 79 years old. When I first saw them, Smurfs or something and everything, when I had kids, that was amazing. Now, also, you don't want to know what to ask for, because here's a new program in Washington, D.C., but only for residents of Washington, D.C. Listen what this does. This is just amazing. I can't believe it. If you're now getting government grants to live on, subsistence, or like maybe SNAP, or a voucher for rent and things like that, any of the programs that are giving you money, now what they're testing out, they have a couple thousand people. Of those people, if you're getting a government subsidy now, and you want to work and earn income, they'll give you more money, okay? And you won't lose your subsidy. For 5 years, you're not going to use your subsidy no matter how much money you're making, okay? That's to keep you in the game. Because otherwise, what people are doing, they're getting that subsidy, they make a little bit of more money, then they don't get the subsidy anymore, and they can't make it without that, so they quit their job. So we got to keep people applied. So that's why they're testing this out. And this is what they do. They let you keep the subsidy. So let's say maybe you're making 10 grand a year in subsidies, something like that. I have no idea. And what they do is give you an extra 10 grand while you're training for a job, while you have a job or whatever, until your income gets high enough to take care of yourself. So you get an extra $10,000. Now, and this is just a grant for you to do anything you want. That's every year for 5 years. 5 years, you're going to get 10 grand a year. 5 years. Now listen, that's not all. But wait, there's more. Just like my old infomercial days. But wait, there's more. Remember Pope Pio? Pope Pio's pocket fisherman? He was my mentor. I don't know the man, but I saw his infomercials when I was a kid. I don't explain myself. I bought your program 3 years ago, and 6 months plan I never received. Well, yes, I guess we both didn't explain ourselves anymore very well. But we're still alive, and it's $20 if you want to try it again or whatever, or if you're pissed at me, just write and I'll refund your money. Because, you can't please everybody, and I know that, and that's okay. And I want you to keep trying government programs, whether it's me or not. So I don't want to rip you off, or you feel ripped off, and sometimes that's easy to do, and I don't even know how I'm doing it. So that's why I'll give you the money if you think I ripped you off. Don't want a refund, want the grant info. I remember your name has been around a lot. I don't know what program. It must be this one, because I never had a 6-month thing before, except this one. It's only been about maybe 2 years we've done this. If you're on, you may be still on and we haven't taken you off. I tried that first because we weren't so good. What is your Facebook page? It's it's facebook.com/groups, GROUPS, Let's Go Help. Now, you only be able to get into the information if you're an approved member. So, but if you're an approved member once before, you may be able to get. If not, then write to letsgohelp@gmail.com. letsgohelp@gmail.com, and ask for Magic Mary, and tell her I said to fix you up. Magic Mary at letsgohelp@gmail.com, okay? And that's what you need to do. Okay, so we're, the $10,000, in addition to the subsidies you're already getting. Plus, they'll give you $200 grant a month for 5 years. Man, that's like $12,000 a year. So you get $10,000 plus another $12,000 a year. Now, this is a grant that goes in the savings account for you. So after 5 years, you got a lot of money. Plus, you get $1,000 per year in emergency money, okay? So they have $1,000 a year in emergency money. So you have $10,000 a year. Oh, first of all, you're getting subsidies from the government already. So whether it's vouchers or SNAP, stuff like that, childcare, whatever. And so you got that. Now they give you another $10,000, okay? And now that's every year for 5 years. Then they'll give you $12,000 as a savings account for 5 years, okay? And you get an extra $1,000 a year for emergency money. Wow. See, what they're trying to figure out is that we have all these current programs that people don't get out of, So there must be something wrong with the program that it's not working as a kickstart to keep people alive while they get their own thing going or whatever. So that's why things like this are popping up. And see, things like this are popping up all over. It's different in every city. There's no one easy place to get it. You're not going to be able to even come to Let's Go Help and say, I want to know about this program in Ohio. You have to find that, but we show you where to look. And that's what we do. What's the cash on the 10 grand? Nothing. Nothing. They want you to be successful, and they're trying to figure out how to have programs for you to be successful. It's the same thing like, the guaranteed income. Now there's guaranteed income in about 60, 70 cities at least, where they give you, now this is a 5-year, guaranteed income is what I've seen, 1, 2, or 3 years. And you get like $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month for a couple of years, and they don't care what you do with it. It's just guaranteed, so you have a floor to get and build something on. That's what you have to do. And that's why, how do we get people, if you're worried that if you lose your subsidy, then your kids can't be fed, well, hey, you're not going to take the 10 grand because, you're not going to, whatever, you don't have enough to feed your kid, you got to do that first. So you can't do anything else. So if you had they gave you a job training or something like that, but that's not enough because you're not making enough money yet, or a low income job or something. That's not enough, and you're going to quit the job, be able to take care of your kids with the subsidies that you were getting. So, so that's where they're trying to figure that out, and so at least they're trying something. There's a new program out now. It's not new, but it came across my viewing pleasure recently. It's for, let's see, what the heck is it? What did you do with it? Did you take it? What did you do with it? No. Well, it's for a commuter grant. They give you $280 a month for commuting expenses. Now, it's your boss can do that, and that is an incredible deal. At least it sounds like to me. It would be a great deal. I could find the key words on that recovery fund grant. Let's go. You're so screwed up. But that's what part of the IRS has that. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is called the Employees Tax Guide to Fringe Benefits. Go to the irs.gov right now, and put publication 15-B. Publication 15-B. Well, then if you're anonymous, if you're not approved, you have to then send an email to Magic Mary, okay? it won't be done by itself unless you paid. If you paid, then it will, but you haven't paid maybe anymore or you're out. So go to Magic Mary, okay? We'll try to straighten that out that way and tell her I told you to, okay? Okay, so you want to do a publication 15B, and that's the Employer's Tax Guide to Fringe Benefits. What that is, it allows your boss, so you have to tell your boss about this. So you go to the IRS website, print that out, give it to your boss. Hey boss, this is how you could give me a grant for $280 a month in commuter fee to pay for commuter fees like trains, buses, subways, trolleys, water taxis, light rails, ferries, ride shares, parking, garages, lots, van pools, to pay for all that. See, we have that in the system now, but who the hell knows? Your boss doesn't know, so he has to be educated, about that. So he could do it, and it's easy for him to do. Nobody pays for it, so it's a great benefit that would help the average worker a hell of a lot. Oh, by the way, I just found out too, Social Security, old folks like me, okay, getting Social Security. It's the increase this year. Let's see, the group is going to be like a 9% increase in your payments on Social Security. Wow, 9% interest. But it's still the highest percentage increase since 1981. God, that's 40 years ago. 1981. So that's a COLA. The Social Security Administration to announce the COLA inflation data for September is released, okay? So your Social Security payment is going to go up, almost 10%. That could be. Now, what I do a lot of my Social Security money is I have a scholarship fund. And I give it a scholarship fund because I want to work for the rest of my life. I don't need retirement money. I want to earn my money. So I figure, I don't really need that Social Security money because I'm earning money. So instead of giving it back to the government, I have a scholarship fund at a community college locally because I think that's the best government program this country has, is community colleges. They're so cheap. And, for $1,000 you can go to college. And in Washington, D.C., these lawyers, millionaires who are on Social Security and making $1 million, spend $1,000 on lunch. That's true. You get 4 or 5 guys drinking away at lunch. You can spend $1,000. Yeah. And so I said, well, we should go to where the people really can use that money. And so I have what I call I don't need my government money scholarship fund. And that's at Frederick Community College. So you could start one up too at your college, because every college like that has a nonprofit with it to raise money to give to students. And I give my scholarship money to single moms. I mean, that's the backbone of our country, man. Single moms. Who's carrying the load, man? It's single moms. What do we do without them, man? Oh, we say we're a family-centered country, but you could write off horses more than you can children. There's more tax breaks for raising horses than there are for raising children. Now, that's a fucked up society, isn't it? That you could write off more horses than children. So that's why people who don't need their government money, give it back to somewhere that people really need it. We have too many rich people going on the moon or whatever the hell they do, and half the country can't afford dinner. That's just crazy to me. But we're trapped in a society that we honor. People accumulate so much goddamn wealth that they don't know what to do with it. Hello, just found your channel. Can't wait to join the community, but just download a bunch of your free content. Good. Yeah, the free stuff you can from me. There's a lot of good stuff in that free stuff. And it's at letsgohelpfree.com, not Let's Go Help. Let's Go Help is the $20 thing. Let's Go Help Free is and I just put there's 2 great reports there that you should know about. One is the 7 government offices you could get grants with over the phone. Okay, Right. Because so many people are still a little leery of the internet and a little confused, because it's screwed up. Man, I helped my wife today for hours and hours trying to get something stupid to work, It is. I mean, that's what happens. Like it happened with cars when we learned how to do that and stuff like that. So to be comfortable, to start learning the information, as long as you have a phone, you could start getting the help. And these are offices that are set up to talk to you over the phone or in person or whatever to get you the help you need. And there's 7 of them. So if you go to letsgohelpfree.com, you could download that report. And if you're a member, you get it no matter if you like it or not. And we give it out. And that's just a great thing, because then you talk to somebody to see what the hell's out there. And that's why when you talk to these people, don't say you want money, okay? Because that sounds like you're somebody, all I want to do is give money and run away. I don't care about you. What? No, it's a people game. It's a people business. People want to help you, but you want to be a deserving person. If you're calling up the government, hey, give me money, will you? Hey, I want money. My tax dollars pay your salary. You better help me, you lazy, shiftless bureaucrat. You don't sound like anybody's highlight of the day, right? So that's why, number one, you sound greedy. I mean, I feel that anyway. I'm sure maybe that can't be 100% to do that. If your first words out of your mouth are money. To me, it's sort of like going to the front door on a date and asking them to go to bed as soon as they open the door. No, nobody wants to do that. You got to take me to dinner, or whatever first, And that's what's important, And so that's why when you call these people or anybody in the government, you just say you want help, because they know more than just if they had money to give you. And most of these people may not have the money to give you, but will know other sources that may. So if you're saying, hey, give me money, now you say you want help. Now, I got this problem. I can't make my rent. Can you suggest anything or know of any sources that maybe could help me with this? Because I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm really worried about that. That's all you have to do. You just have to be human and talk to another human about your problem, But what happens in our mind, we have this thing that, well, this is how the government works, and they get whatever. No, think of it as just human beings helping each other. We ask your neighbor, go over, he has money, say, hey, give me a fucking grant, Joe. I know you. Look at that car you're driving. You rich fucker. Give me money. Nobody wants to help you like that. But hey, Joe, I got really problems. I don't know how I got here, but I was wondering, do you know of any way that I could help solve this problem? Well, what's your problem, Matt? And I know people don't know me if they call me Matt. I go by Matthew. Oh, actually, you go on YouTube. I just put up a fun video with my wife and I. We live in a section of Washington, D.C. called Adams Morgan. It's sort of like old-time, artsy neighborhood. It's a little gritty and fun and things like that. Well, we have Porch Fest coming up, we call it. And there's like 80 bands going to be on porches all over the community. And I'm in an apartment, though, so we're going to have bands in our driveway in front of the building. And I'm going to have a mimosa party the day before, and trying to bring this building together, So you stand in the elevator with somebody and you don't say a word because you don't know what to say and stuff like that. No, I want people to know each other and be nice and live in a place like that. To me, it sounds a lot more fun than trying to be tight ass and impress people and stuff like that. I'm too old to even try to do that. But I want to show you, it's about the last 2 or 3 videos, one about Porch Fest. So I think it says, Washington is the place for getting free money and free music. And October 1st, so if you're in Washington on October 1st, it's a Saturday, like 2 to 6, there's going to be bands all over the street. And on people's porches. 80 bands, man, 80. It's fun. We're going to have 2 here. And that's what's neat. Let's Go Help Free was the site, right. And that's where you get the free report about the 7 places that you call on the phone and find out about financial help and things like that. Okay, so use the phone, not the internet. So that's a place to do that. Okay, the other important report there is a report for starting a business. And it's a free help that's starting a business. I'm in Washington State. Oh, that's the other Washington. I don't know. They probably have Porch Fest. They have it all over. I was in France years ago, and they had a Porch Fest. The whole city had it, and that was really fun. Yeah, it's fun. Makes communities less combative or unfriendly or whatever. Any new infomercials? Yeah, that was sort of like an infomercial if you look at that, but it was for Porch Fest, not for me. No, I don't, infomercials cost money, they do. Now, look at, I'll talk for a half hour for free here. This is my infomercial here, and actually give you information. If I did commercials, information, I can't, you can't afford to give it all away because it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to do all those things. Yeah. Here, it costs me nothing. I turn on iPhone, free broadcasting. Look, I got a couple thousand people. I mean, that's free. That's why it's so easy now to start a business. The businesses that I started that were successful, all I started with no money. The businesses that failed are the ones I started with money. That's why I really believe you don't need it. I mean, some businesses you obviously do. But to be your own boss, to do things, you don't need money nowadays. But people on Google will tell you need money. So you assume that. You hear it from 50 times. Like if you didn't have a window and you were listening to media and they said, it's raining today, raining today, raining today, and you didn't see anything on the window because you don't have a window, so you think it's raining, right? Until you see the window. So that's why you go out and look outside first. Somebody telling you something. Man, we're also biased, and that's why we're a capitalist system. So that means we're trying to figure out how to get money from other people. So we're going to do everything we can legally possible. And that's another problem to me. We only, morals is not in the game. So everybody's worried about if they legal. As long as it's legal, but they still treat you like shit. As long as it's legal, that's terrible. I mean, look at the stuff you have to sign, for financing, anything. Even on the website, you got to check all these boxes. Why? Would you tell your mother to do that? And so they're obviously not friendly. They're obviously don't care about you if they're screwing you or not or whatever. No, because it's legal. I can screw you as long as I make it legal. And they're smart enough lawyers to figure out how to make it legal and still screw you. Legal isn't to be nice. And I don't care about legal. I want nice, man. I don't know about you. Like when you marry somebody, oh, it's legal, I'm married. But they hate your ass. Yeah. And they're just using the hell out. That's not a fun place to be. That's not a fun place to live. Yeah, you don't want to be there. And that's the other thing on letsgohelpfree.com. The other one I think is very important is the one on business. It shows you the free services that are available to do almost anything. I mean, if you don't even have to be a small business. You could just be trying to make money out of your home. You could be a freelancer. You could be a writer. You could be a cartoonist. You could be just working from home. And you're figuring out how to write off your home because your job, but you're still at home and you don't know how to do that. Instead of hiring a tax accountant, you can ask them, and they'll get you that help for free. You want to invest in real estate and don't know about the laws or whatever, what kind of grants, you could call them and ask for free. And I have stories and subjects and everything. All you need is about 60 pages or so on that, video interviews with these people do it. See, I've interviewed thousands of government officials who give out the money. I'm not guessing. Sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm wrong. But it is, and since day one, this is 40 years or more that I've been doing this, that I talk to bureaucrats all the time to make sure I understand them. I'll call them up, and like I remember I did a television show about the houses for $1, and it was a national television show before I realized how hard that could be. And this poor office down in Washington, see the office in Washington for the houses for $1 is not the office that gives out give out the programs or money or anything like that. That's just the main office, and it's all done in the field. So, but I had to give for this television show that wanted one office. Okay, here's the office. Okay, so they give that number when I talk about it on the show. And this poor office, just the head of the office and a clerk. And they got 10,000 calls that day, 5,000 letters or something like that. Well, I went down and answered the calls and fill out the letters. I said, give me those names, I'll respond to everyone. So I create a problem. Oh, the king of fraud. Oh, you know me. That's good. Yeah, well, thank you for warning people. That's good to know. What's dirty? What is dirty? Well, that's it. I pay taxes. What are you talking about? I say, wake up. Send your likes. Oh, well, thank you. It's not free. Of course it's not free. Money, somebody's got to pay. But, I'm not trying to argue if this is right or wrong or who pays. No, you're right. You're paying taxes. It's there. You want to get some back? Then here it is. Let's go. It's Monica from the group. I'm not sure who Monica is. I have a sister named Monica, but I don't know if she's on TikTok. Now, she has a little problem with the IT stuff, so I doubt if she's on TikTok. Oh, yes, Mo. Maybe you're talking about Mo, yes. Mo's on the ground. Yeah, that's the problem with Facebook. That's why we have Facebook 2. Facebook 2 is off Facebook, and this is where we do our video training. So every week we have 3 live seminars that we teach government grant writing. That's 3 every week. You could join all of them, one of them, whatever you want. And see, where else are you going to get that for $20? People are saying, I know I had to charge $2,000, and not 20, or even $2,000 or $3,000 a month. No, I want to be the $20 guy, and I'm doing that, and we're making money, and that's why. Okay, we're doing it, we're making money. Grants to help religious, yes, grants to make everybody. And actually, we have a report just for nonprofit organizations, no matter what it is, to start with. And if you don't want to buy the report, then where you go is your Office of Community Development. Every county has that, and they get community development grants that they have to split up to all the nonprofits in the area to solve personal problems in the area. And that's what it's for. And they get that money every year, and people learn how to apply it. You have to start learning the system. If you don't, and the only way you learn it is you don't just Google and think you know everything, or pretend that, oh, it's not for me because I don't understand. Right, you have to get belly to belly to understand this stuff. You go to a meeting, you call people or whatever. How else are you going to learn? I pulled my money and my business out of Bank of America. Oh, it's good. If you have problems with any financial service, whether it's Bank of America or your used car dealer or whatever, you call consumerfinance.gov, or actually go consumerfinance.gov, and they have a complaint system there. You file a complaint against that person. By the way, they have a database of all the complaints and who got them. So you could see how bad Bank of America is there. But more importantly, what they'll do is they'll investigate your complaint no matter what it is. So you could be some drunk idiot or whatever and complaining to some financial institution. They'll investigate no matter what you said and who you are, and do it within 14 days. Well, that's phenomenal. You call a lawyer and try to do that. Man, first of all, he's going to charge you $300 an hour, $500 an hour, whatever the hell he can get away with, or she. Half the new lawyers, I think, are women now. And so, but these are free. And see, these lawyers, when you learn how to use the system in the government, these lawyers are more powerful than any lawyer you could buy. So look at what is a lawyer going to do to Bank of America or the used car dealer who screwed you over? Well, Bank of America particularly, their lawyers are better than your lawyers if you hire somebody $300 an hour to do this for you. So that goes down the toilet right away, and so what you need to do is you have the government go after them. See, if they're a bureaucracy like Bank of America or a credit card company or whatever, and they get a letter from the government, man, see, the government could put them out of business. Your lawyer can't, and their lawyers have, they play volleyball with lawyers and just knock them over. They can beat them up all the time because they do this all the time, and your lawyer probably doesn't. So, but still, a private lawyer is going to cost you a lot of money. These lawyers cost you nothing and have more power and scare them. See, what happens in these big companies, they don't want to deal with it. See, the problem goes away if they pay you off. Okay, so they're sitting there and they get a letter from the government that they screwed you. Okay, now even if they feel they can get out of it, and they start to explain it, it's cheaper for them to give you the $1,000, $5,000, whatever it is, than to complain to the government office that they're right, because these big bureaucracy costs them $20,000 just to talk to each other, you know. And if they screw it up and they're wrong, then they could lose all their business. So it's not worth the risk. See, for sending you a couple $1,000 or whatever it is is the cheapest option for them, and it's nothing. That's why when you write a letter to a company that you didn't want to, you find who regulates that company. You know, your insurance company doesn't pay a claim. Same thing. There's insurance commissioners in every state that give permission to that insurance company to do business in your state. Okay, so if you write to the insurance company complaining that you need this and you think they're wrong, and you send a copy to the insurance company has to follow up. See, and that's what they have to answer that, because they don't want to have bad stuff there, because that may not get their license again. Yeah. Hello, let's go. How are you doing? I love the red hearts and green. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but it's fun. Yeah, I'm getting crazier as I get older. How did Ty the Feds investigative didn't write that? Man, just look at how well the Postal Service is running their businesses, or how about, what does that have to do with anything? Well, look at how shitty Comcast is running their business. You try to get anything changed at Comcast. Yeah, that's to me, after studying this for years and years, there's very little difference between a large corporation and a government agency. They're all screwed up. It's just hard to run big organizations. That's why everybody who you talk to in them just hate their jobs. That's what my biggest thing in life is, when Comcast or any big corporation like that, a customer says, how could I get them to laugh? Because they're just terrible to deal with. They're just trying to read the script off the screen. It's like talking to a robot. It's no fun at all. If I could get them, like if they say, oh, do I have any other problems that you can help me with? I said, yeah. Now, I was out late. Now, I told my wife I was going to be out late. You know, it was going to be after midnight. So I come home about 3 o'clock, you know, and she has to lock the doors on me. Now, what would you do? You know, if somebody did that and it was just 2 or 3 hours, and they don't want to hear that shit, right? Another thing I love is when people call me on the phone and want to sell me something or whatever. Oh, is Mr. Lesko there? Oh, haven't you heard? Wow. Yes, he passed away yesterday. Boy, he was a beautiful man, wasn't he? I mean, I guess you knew him, so you knew that his whole family is so upset, you know, and we're so grateful that you called us, you know, to show your appreciation. And just talk, because they don't want to talk anymore. You know, you're dead. They're not going to make a sale, right? And you play on their guilt. How long can I keep them on the phone and get them pissed off? Man, if you don't entertain yourself, man, nobody else is going to do it. That's why I dress like this or whatever. And I go out running every morning in my crazy outfits and wear crazy suits, and it makes people smile. And just when we walking down the street and they pass me, I'm sure a lot of people think I'm an asshole. A lot of them are right, too. We all have part of us that are bad and are assholes and everything. But it's the nice part, you know, that we should show more and share. And that's what I see people smile when they see me. Man, that's sort of like a special job I have. Who else could do that? And that's really fun to be able to do that. And now, and to me, it's just a tool to get people's attention about what I'm trying to teach them. You know, I remember when I was teaching, I used to teach computer science back in the 70s, when a computer was as big as this room, IBM kind of stuff. And there were mostly adults getting a degree at night and teaching computers. And I found as a teacher, the first thing you have to do is keep people awake. You can't teach anybody anything if they're falling asleep. So and then that became my thesis when I started doing television. Hey, television to me was boring or whatever. And I said, if I have to keep you awake. So that's why I figure if they say next is Matthew, let's go to talk about information. No, who the hell wants to do that? So I always thought, well, if I was on the Today Show and they said next is Matthew, let's go talk about information, I would go to the bathroom and start brushing my teeth. So my vision, my head, when I'd come out and whoever the hostess was or host asked me about my book, then I said, hey, did you know? So to get that person out of the bathroom to see what's going on television. So acting crazy to keep them awake and maybe have a chance to teach them something, And I think that's the best thing. And that's what media is about now. And that's why I see all the media is free. You can all use it. That's why you got a report. If you're a member of Let's Go Help, let me send you a report about how to retire in 3 years with no money. I mean, start a business to retire in 3 years with no money. Yeah. And it really probably won't happen, but that's the kind of philosophy I do. You don't need money to do things. You don't need money to make things. And I keep doing it. It's not easy. Nothing is easy. But to me, what's harder is going to a job you hate every day. That's killer. You gotta pound away and figure out a way, even if it's part-time, until you figure it out or whatever. Because you have so much to give, and we're all in positions where we can't give our best, and we have so much better to give each other. And it's usually something that's weird about you. And that's why nobody encourages you to be weird, because they want to be like everybody else. I figured out life out and what it is. So we're missing so much of the best of everybody in this world because they're all trying to be something they're not. And when you go to, that's what I feel about these poor people on customer service that I talk to in these big companies. They have to act certain ways, certain times, and they're not human. So they have to be inhuman for 8 hours a day. And that, I think, eats away on you inside. You're trying to be, and that's where I think so many diseases come from. Your insides are doing things, like all the mental health problems we have now because of all the pandemic and people don't have money and screwed, and so many homeless people now, and people can't afford anything. I mean, that makes you sick inside, I think. I'm not a scientist to know, but I know it is to me, if I had to worry about it. So my life has been trying to not get trapped that way and do as much as I can and keep that overhead light or the small, so you don't have to cower to what other people and cower to other people's money and things like that. So you could be as free as you possibly can in order to grow. This is how it's going to grow. Because otherwise it's like putting a plant in the wrong size pot. And if you're in the wrong size pot, it can't grow. We all have to grow every day. I mean, I can't believe at 79 years old, man, I'm growing more these last years. I was thinking, boy, if I knew being 79 was this much fun, I would have done it earlier. I thought that was a cute joke. Let's go. Anyone can email to get a month I paid for. Is there anyone I can email to get the month I paid for? Yeah, if you paid for a month and didn't use it or something like that, magicmary@gmail.com. And just mention my name. I don't know if you know me or not. Back, the free report for business. So we have a free report for business, shows you how to get all that stuff for free. You're going to say, I need a grant for business. Yeah, okay, you can maybe pretend. But no, go to these places and say, I want to start a business. This is the business I want to matching pants. My pants are black and white stripes. They don't match, but most of my suits match. Yeah, pants, or they're funky in some other ways. Right, and so they help you with all the problems. Looking for money, I mean, they'll do that too for you, but tell you the truth, that you want to find a customer. And that's what it's all about. Business is not learning how to get money, it's learning how to get customers. And that's why. And that's the key. Even if you got the money, then you have to learn how to get a customer. You should learn how to get a customer first and then go look for money. Because your first idea about what probably people will buy is probably wrong, and you have to go through a lot of failures to understand that. So if you're paying for that and you're getting nowhere, right? That's not too good, right? So it's all about learning. Nothing happens easily. What you think, every business that turned out to be successful really started something different. But I had to do that to see what it was like. My ideas was wrong, and that's why the only information is not other experts or whatever. It's the people you want to sell to. They're the only people you want to listen to. I remember doing commercials, and I'd show my commercials to my friends and everything, and take their suggestions and change them. And I realized, hey, they never bought anything from TV. What am I showing them for? It's cheaper to put it on a test somewhere and see what people do. That's the way you do it. And see, now you could do that on social media. You could do a commercial now on YouTube, put it up by the end of the day, and see if anybody responds to it. You don't have enough audience, fine. Then you start building an audience to see something. So you see what they respond to. You put it on Facebook. You start a little group on this. Okay, I'm one who could train squirrels. So then you put a video or something about training squirrels and see, and you have, yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. And then you have to find, okay, nobody's watching this goddamn thing, what do we do? Then you find other people who have training squirrel blogs or whatever, animal pet blogs, whatever, and you tell them about your, your new video or whatever, and get people to watch. I got help from my last electrical, big thank you. Oh, wonderful. See? I got help on my last electrical, big thing. Still working on my mortgage and roof, but we'll get there. You're right. Oh, awfully nice to hear. See, it takes effort, guys. People want to have it so easy, and man, this is a shitty life. This is why I try to have fun at it, because it's terrible. It's brutal. It doesn't care about you. We think it does. Are you wasting my time? Are you wasting my time? I think you could click off. Somebody on TikTok said, I'm wasting their time. What the fuck are they watching for? Now, who's the idiot here? Me, who looks like one, or you that's acting like one? I don't know. It's a toss-up. High school baseball. Ooh, I am a high school. I was too. But in not the high school. My kid couldn't make the team, so he wanted me to start one. I don't know anything about baseball, so he really did it, and I just wrote the checks. That was like 8th grade team. It was fun. But what did you want a high school baseball coach? I mean, there are coaching. There's websites now that people go to look for coaches. So you say, hey, we teach, start a business that teaches high school kids how to hit a fastball. They're not very fast, I guess, but whatever it is, and coaching techniques or something like that, And now you have something to sell. You don't need any money. You just need customers. See, you get a platform, you put it on a platform, and there it is. Now that's it. Now you have a business. Now you have to find customers. So if you had to go out and find, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and set up what you think you need, and then you have to find customers. But now you had to probably work your ass off to find the $20,000, $30,000. So you figure out how to do it without that to find customers who want to pay money for this subject. So you don't have anything that batting cages and all that kind of stuff. You have something else you could do without it. So you have video reels of famous, people hitting the baseballs or something. And you show them why this is working for them. Whatever. There's other ways to do it without them. There's always options. It's just how clever you are or how hungry you are to find it. And that's what's the most important thing about life is we all want it easy because life would be easier if everything was easy. And once in a while it does, but it usually comes after a lot of screw-ups and other things, And that's it. If you want to do something new, remember about what it took to learn to walk, And you had to stand up on those shaky little legs and then fall on your ass. Stand up again and fall on your ass. It took you 100 times to do that, right? That's what you got to do. And if somebody says you just stand up and run, you're not going to be a good walker. Or you're going to be walking around in a wheelchair because you don't know how to walk. So that's it. I mean, to me, the idea is to start your stuff, without money so you could fail a lot to figure it out. And look all the idiots that run things around here. It's only because they have the perseverance to stay there long enough to figure it out. And you won't stay as long if you're spending money all the steps of the way. And there's plenty of places you could spend it on, and plenty of things that people will say, you need this. And they act very smart. Because the people ask you for a lot of money, they can't say, yeah, shit, I don't know if this works or not, but maybe it worked for me, try it. It's hard to ask for a lot of money for that, right? But that's the truth. That's why they don't act like that. They act like they know everything in the world, and anything you thought of is dumb, right? So they could, squeeze every dime out of you. That's a cynical view, but and I'm sure not everybody is like that, but enough are that you get trapped. And if you're vulnerable, that you really want that so badly, then you become vulnerable and you get sucked in. And that's what happens. And now when people don't have money and they're looking for a way out, and they think this idea will make $1 million, don't do that. Learn how to make income first, and then work on that $1 million on the other side. As you're working, you do it part-time, starting your business. But first make money. If it's driving Uber or something in the gig economy, anything to bring income in so you're not as desperate and waste a lot of money and go in debt. Don't go in debt and give money to somebody who promises you money. That's just the worst sin in life, I think. But we all fall into it. If you have a lot of money, more power to you. Who am I to say? There's a lot of ways to get through life, and and it's different for each one of us. So you got to figure out what is the way for you to get through that. And that comes through trial and error, because we go to school, we read books, and that may or may not work, and maybe for some people, maybe not you, and you have to put together your own puzzle and what works for you. I'm divorcing my husband for this reason. What reason? I need money for dental care. Are these grants out there to help? Of course, a lot of that. And mostly that is services. There's grants too. And I have a report. If you remember, get our 500 mini grant report for every state. So if you remember, you get a mini grant report for your state, 500 grants, and we have a health care section, which is health care, dental care, pet care, and prescription drugs. And in the dental care, there'll be 50 sources or more of people who give free and low-cost dental care. And what it takes is not just applying what they have. You really have to call every one of those to see. And don't call, you say you need dental help. Do you have it? Or can you suggest somebody else that have it? You have to go through that process. Think of the cop shows where people are going door by door. Hey, did you see hear gunshot last night? They have to go step by step. That's what research is. Making 100 phone calls to find it. Any goodies for the state of New Mexico? It just came on. There certainly are. And there's 500 of them in our mini grants report for New Mexico. Every state has that. I just got some great business things. I can't remember specifically, but yes. See, if you remember, you put that in, and I show you all the programs, and I'll show you 100, 200, 300 programs for business in New Mexico. Now you have to go through and pick and choose what you think are worth trying to follow up on. That's your job. Now, everyone is giving you free money if you're in business, but what kind and who, where, what? And that's why it's best to call, because then you understand, because the people who are doing it now know other things in the business. You don't, you and I don't, because I don't live in Mexico and every state is different, yada, yada, yada. So you talk to people, say, oh yeah, you probably want, not me, that Joe over here just started another group that does that, because they're in that group and know that stuff. And that's who you want to talk to, not me. I show you the people in every city and state who know that stuff. And specific programs too, but it's really knowing these navigators locally is what it's all about, because it changes all the time. Here's another one I just saw I talked about today. in North Carolina for Black and Latinx businesses, giving out $25,000. The application just started like 2-3 days ago and ends the 26th. $25,000. Wow, that's amazing. Here's another one. New York is giving out $5,000 to $20,000 for people who started a business in the last couple of years. I mean, there's all kind of crazy requirements of it. So you have to find these and see how you could fit into that, you know. And if you can't, then you call them up. Hey, this doesn't sound like for me, but can you suggest anybody else that may have something that would fit me, you know? That's what research is about. It's not about finding that magic website and fill it. It is, but finding it is what it takes. It takes the research skills to do that, and that's what we teach. Teach. And that's why every week we have 3 live, you know, video research training, Zoom meetings. Everybody gets a chance to ask their question and everything. And we cover certain topics every week, and it's there. That's how you're going to learn. Yeah. And you can apply to our grant. Every month we have a grant. We give out $40,000 every month in $1,000 or $500. We just announced the winners yesterday for the September one. And in the next October deadline is October 5th. So if you're a member or want to be a member, make sure you do that. You apply to our October 5th application. And it's easiest application on the internet. All you have to do is tell us how you would spend $1,000. And it could be for you, could be for a friend, it could be for a neighbor, anybody you want to give that $1,000 to. That's all you have to do. And oh yeah, there's one other very complicated question. Your name and your email. That's it. That's all it is. Yeah. And that's why I think it's the easiest grant on the internet. Well, my voice is running down. I'm an old guy. I got to go out and do 6 or 7 miles again tomorrow and answer probably 50 or 60 questions. Mary Lou, are there education grants that aren't for college? And you, yes, that's training money, training grants. Go to careeronestopcenter.org, Career One Stop, Careeronestop.org. Go there, put in your zip code, and call a counselor there. Start talking about grants for training, okay? Lots of money there, tons of dough. And particularly for people without college degrees to get a good job, you know, making 50 grand and going up to 100, you know. We need trained people, and that's important. And that's a big opportunity for anybody who doesn't like their job or doesn't have one. There's so much. Start there and go to 211.org and find help.org and look for other job training opportunities. It's all, most all of it is free. And they're now paying you to take the courses. They need you so badly. Huh? How do I need to complain about my back? Consumerfinance.org, consumerfinance.org, and search for a complaint. 2 weeks, they'll be on the case. And you'll get a copy of the letter, I'm sure, okay? Okay, guys, thank you so much for everybody, and you've been very kind to me, and I appreciate it so much. As I said, I'm having the time of my life because I feel I'm helping people, and they tell me that every day, and that's just the nicest thing to do. And like I say, if I knew 79 was going to be this good, man, I would have got here a lot earlier.